that's a good segue. Let's segue into training. So training now in PMU, and I just kind of put a post about it on Facebook a couple days ago, and it got like a lot of comments. And I think me and Texas, we've Texas De La Rosa, him and I have talked a lot about this with a lot of people. That I was out to dinner with an artist, and they had kind of enlightened me and told me that a lot of PMU people right now in our industry are picking trainers or coaches solely because they're driving Range Rovers, wearing Rolexes, diamonds, like, showboating their material possessions.
Right.
And I thought, I'm like, no. I mean, where am I? Under a rock? I'm like, am I that naive? But I guess I was that naive. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm like, you're serious? And she's like, yeah, it's an epidemic right now, Taryn. That's how they're picking. They're picking their trainers, PMU trainers, because they're flashy.
But are these students like young girls that do this mostly?
Well, I'm not really sure. But my whole thing was, okay, so you're picking. So they're not researching like their portfolios and make sure they're super skilled. They support their clients and they're good trainers and have good reputations in the industry. They're picking their trainers because,
they got stacks of money.
They flash stacks of money. And also the lure of, you can make 6 figures a year. Right. Look at me. I drive a Range Rover or a, Mercedes and blah, 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 blah. This could be you. And I, that just kind of floored me a little bit. My whole thing is like, I wonder how many of those,
how big that payment is?
Those people out there, is the vehicle leased? Mm-hmm. Are they paying their taxes? They got money in their bank. I mean, sometimes it's all just showboating.
Oh, absolutely.
And the thing is like, I feel like they completely fail to mention to people that are very impressionable about the money they make. They also forget the fact that they're selling pigments or they're selling some kind of product that they've made. Yeah. They're doing ridiculous classes that are up to 30 people. And so they're making thousands at each course. I mean, like they're steering away from being an actual artist and they're on kind of more of just the entrepreneurial side. And so in that sense, I mean, that's not, I'm not taking clients every single day to make 6 figures. I feel like they're misleading a really, really.
Yeah, well, a lot of it's misleading. And I'm not saying, just that there's not some really good trainers that are through and through good trainers. Yeah. That, maybe show their material possessions that they work really hard for. And there's nothing wrong with showcasing, that part of your life. If you want to, I have no problem with that. What stuck to me is that students are picking trainers based solely on that. And and so to come down, do you point the finger at the person on Instagram, the trainer doing that, or is it the student? It's both. I mean, who picks a trainer? This is your career and this is your money. So who picks a trainer just because they're driving around in a flashy car? Are you kidding me? I mean, to me, that's asinine. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really understand that. For me, I don't know. I just see a lot of people now out there building their careers off people, right? Building their training platforms off people, building their coaching platforms off people. That's how they're making their money. They're getting rich as coaches, right? Off luring in students rather than they built financial success from the PMU industry. They're building financial success off just luring in coaching students. Right. My philosophy is, look, I have no intention to build a successful training platform or coaching platform off people. Right. I have every intention to use my coaching and training platform to build successful people. Mm-hmm. That's the difference. Right. That's the huge difference. So, But I have noticed a trend that, like, because, the training space exploded with 2-day classes, and, and we don't have to go on about the training space. But a lot of them moved into coaching. Have you noticed that? Now the coaching space is jam packed, and so it's interesting watching all this. But I think those out there spending their money and and learning PMU, it falls on them too. I mean, they bear responsibility, on picking people of substance that, have been in the industry a long time and do great work and are great trainers. Yeah. What do you think is the future of training, Ren? Because I know training, like you're an advocate for training.
I don't know. I have some feelings about this. I feel like training, because there have been a lot more conversation lately of people, whether satisfied or dissatisfied.
And a lot of dissatisfaction has been popping up about the type of training that's dominating the industry and has dominated the industry the last few years, right? Yeah. There's a lot of discontentment popping up.
Yeah.
Right.
I personally feel like that is actually going to bring a lot more positive in 2024. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that people feel like they've wasted their money, or that they didn't learn even like the basic color theory or depth, or they didn't get enough one-on-one time with their trainer. I feel like, even that I've been through those kind of courses too, I think because that's happened so much to so many people, that now we all kind of came together and spoke about it. I think 2024 is really going to turn around, or at least be the first year where, whether it's a slow progress or it really hits ahead on it, but I think it'll be better, honestly.
Yeah.
I think people are going to understand what to look for better. I think people are starting to use their voice. I know you like to say, always use your voice, even if it shakes.
Yep.
I think people are going to be, not going to feel bad anymore about how they felt. And, this is because at the end of the day, this is our life. This is our time and our investment. And if you really want to be in the industry, you have so many questions. And so I think that will definitely be better next year. And I think that people may not want to do 1 or 2 day courses anymore. Yeah. Unless they're like a really experienced artist, and they just want to see somebody else's technique. You know?
Exactly. There needs to be more long-term apprenticeships. I mean, I know some people are doing like 7-day classes, and that meets like the SPCP standards. There's some sort, SPCP work, to try to put some sort of standard out there. I think it's a certain hour, so many hours. I can't remember, but I mean, think about it. That's not even long enough. Look what body tattooers. I mean, they're spending, 1 year to 2 years. So, I mean, we do a 12-month apprenticeship program here.
Yeah.
And it's all of us. I mean, you help out Ren, and you sit down with them. Amy, you help the apprentices. You work with them. They go in your rooms, my rooms, and it takes a village to raise a PMU artist. So, and it does take 12 months. It takes 12 months.
Yeah.
It takes 12 months.
There's so much information.
To learn
with all the different procedures. So
yeah. And a lot of the people joining our apprenticeship program have already done these 7-day apprenticeship programs, or, these classes elsewhere. A lot of them relocated from other states to come out here and do the 12 months. Mm-hmm. They're in here 4 days a week, and it's good. It's good. I think it's good. I think it takes a village. That's how it's done in body tattooing. Mm-hmm. When you go into a tattoo shop, it's not, just the shop owner that you spend time with. It's all the artists. It's the collective. Yeah. It's the whole studio, tattoo studio that works with the new apprentice. Yeah.
And I think it's good for the apprentices too, to see how we all work and do things so differently. And even just the way we talk or explain things. Or like even the vibe with some of them, like they might vibe with somebody a little bit better, so they feel more comfortable asking questions or coming to that person.
Right.
Because I know, like, when I started, I mean, I learned so much from all three of you and you guys all did things so differently, but there's been certain things that have stuck with me that you did, that Amber did, that Michonne did, that were all different, or like just, you know, sayings that you guys would say, or like the way you would do things that really would stick with me, where I didn't even notice the other person really did it so much. So I think that is beneficial for them too, to be around us, and not only that, to be with each other, because when you're in an apprenticeship, it's hard, like emotionally and mentally, because you question, like, am I good? Can I do this? Is all this like gonna pay off? So it's almost like a mental like thing that you go through. But when you have somebody going through the same thing, because like your partner doesn't know what you're going through, because they don't tattoo, and you know, you're changing someone's face. But when you have apprentices that you can kind of lean on and vent to, then they can kind of hype you back up and get you back up where you need to be. Or if you're getting a little cocky, they can be like, whoa, girl, calm down. Like, it wasn't that good.
Right. Because we've seen it all, right? We see it all with apprentices. Absolutely. We got like, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them right now, and they've all been together like, you know, quite a few months. So you get it all. And some of them I think take, you know, better advantage, and some don't. I mean, you know, it's not like super structured. I run it like a body tattoo apprenticeship. Eddie didn't make us be there at a certain time. He didn't like, you know, it was like sitting down at a desk and at a certain time you take it wasn't like that. You know, and you really can't do that for a 12-month program. So it's kind of structured, kind of loose. And look, if, you know, I mean, take advantage of it. And they'll get from it what they put into it and what they want from it. I think just like artists, I've had artists come into the studio that were obsessed, you know. Amber was one of them, one of the most obsessed people I've ever seen in my life. And
she's still obsessed.
Yeah, she's a little cuckoo. But I love you, Amber. She knows I love her. She knows she'd be the first one to cuckoo. Are you kidding me? No, but she was just demanding of my time and booking model. And she knew what she wanted from me, from this, and in her career. She knew. And it was clarity, you know, and I've had a couple other people like that over the years. And then you have people that come in and they're like, they're hardly here and blah, 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 blah. So you get from training, you get from artists that are better than you, what you put into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm not micromanaging anybody. That's my whole big thing. We're all adults. I don't want to micromanage anybody. Either I can't want for you what you don't want for yourself. Either you want it and you get it. You come get it. You get it. You make it happen because you're in a great space to make that happen, or you don't. And that's just, you know, it's pretty black and white for me. I've always been someone that made it happen. I made it happen. I always surrounded myself with people that were better and smarter than me because I wanted to sponge off them. You know?
Absolutely.
I want to absorb like what they know and their talent. I want to aspire to be like them, you know? So, but some people are just not like that, you know?